Record. Skills. Everyone has them, but if you don't list them on your resume the right way, no one's going to know about them. And worse, you list the wrong skills and you might miss out on a job you've always dreamed of. In this video, we're going to teach you how to list the right skills in your resume in the right way. So, let's get started.
Career advice by Novoresume.
First things first, how important is it to list skills on your resume in the first place? Well, the short answer is very. The skills section is one of the three most important sections in your resume, the other two being your professional experience and education. Done right, your skills section should look something like this. But let me tell you, if you're thinking, how hard can this be? I'll just list my entire skill set and call it a day. Well, it is a bit more complicated than that. Have you heard of applicant tracking systems? Well, these are software that companies use to help them go through hundreds of resumes they received on a daily basis. The software does this by scanning each resume for keywords relevant to the job. If it doesn't spot them, it will automatically reject the resume. And if you're thinking, how bad can that be? Here's a statistic. Around 70% of resumes are rejected by ATS and never making it to the hands of a human recruiter. Even if you're lucky and the company you're applying to doesn't use an ATS, it's likely the hiring manager will notice whether you have the right skills for the job or not. Whichever the case, it's super important that you mention the right combination of soft and hard skills for the job on your resume if you want to maximize your chances of landing your next job. Now that we got the basics out of the way, let's go over how you should list the skills on your resume step by step. Step number 1. Tailor your skills to the job. As we already mentioned, you only want to list skills that are useful to the job you're applying for. The best way to find out what those skills are is to scan the job ad. Job ads usually list required skills for the job. For example, for a digital marketeer, those may be online and social media marketing, interpersonal skills, and communication. All you need to do is make sure you don't leave them out of your resume. If you possess these skills, of course. That said, it's also important that you don't go overboard with listing your skills. You don't want to take up space on your resume to mention skills that aren't directly related to the job. You won't be using a lot of tech as a bartender, for example, so we can safely say that you can leave your computer skills out of your resume for this one. Step number 2. Create a skills section. Once you've identified the right skills to add on your resume, create a dedicated skills sections to list them under. This will make it easier for the hiring manager to spot them and for the ATS to scan them. Here's what to remember while adding the skills section. First, be as specific as possible. Verbal and written communication sounds more impressive than just communication. Second, sort your skills by their relevance. The most important skills for the job should go on top, while complementary skills should come after. Third, don't lie or exaggerate. Your employer will know once you get hired and are required to put that very skill into practice. And the end results should look something like this. Step number 3. Match hard skills with your proficiency level. Adding your proficiency level after each hard skill shows professionalism and honesty. If you're a recent graduate or entry-level professional who's just starting to learn a skill, then you describe your proficiency level as a beginner. Now, if you apply a certain skill in practice but still have room for improvement, then your skill level is intermediate. Once you've mastered the skill, don't need any help applying it, and can even teach beginners, you can safely write down your proficiency level as advanced. And finally, if you're the go-to person for any question regarding this skill, you can say you're an expert. Step number 4. Use other resume sections to prove your skills. Last, but definitely not least, if you want to take your resume from good to great, you should prove that you actually possess the skills you've listed. Everyone can put leadership on their resume section and pat themselves on the back. This doesn't mean that the hiring manager will take your word for it. This is where the work experience section comes in. By listing some accomplishments under your previous work experience, you can explain exactly how using a particular skills helped you achieve them. Let's say you're applying for a job as a content writer, and some of the most critical hard skills for the job include copywriting, email copy, and web copy. Once you've listed these skills in your skills section, you also want to back them up with facts in your work experience section.
A straight up fact.
So, for example, you can say something that sounds like this. Spearheaded email copywriting at Pear Inc., driving over $100,000 in revenue from cold email marketing. That way, you won't just be a candidate who talks the talk, but someone who's walked the walk too.
I tell you, there's some people, they just wear a ribbon and they think they're doing something. Not me. I talk the talk and I walk the walk, baby.
Step number 5. Put transferable skills into use. This goes for all the entry-level candidates and career switchers out there. Take advantage of transferable skills. These skills may not be directly related to the job you're applying for, but they are useful and relevant to most jobs out there. To give you an example, let's say you're going for a career change from sales to copywriting. You can definitely benefit from listing some skills acquired in sales on your resume for a copywriting role too. Such skills are written communication, as both jobs involve communication via text, and persuasion, as both jobs need to drive sales, and also computer skills, as both jobs require some degree of tech knowledge. And bam, 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 your skills section is ready to go. But before you go and start working on your resume, there's one more important thing you need to know, and that is that not all skills are created equal. Some skills are so useful that they are relevant for just about every job you're going to apply for. So, if you possess the following skills, I recommend mentioning them in your resume. Number 1, communication skills. The overwhelming majority of jobs out there will require at least some level of communication, be it with coworker, bosses, clients, or the AI overlord taking over our jobs, you name it. This is exactly what makes communication skills so essential in today's workplace, regardless of what jobs you're applying for. Number 2, computer skills. Technology has taken over our lives so much that most jobs require computer and technical skills, even if they're not centered around IT and tech. Just to give you an idea, by 2016, over 70% of US jobs required medium to high level digital skills. This makes computer skills a great addition to almost every job applicant's resume. That said, you don't really need to add Microsoft Office or something that basic to your resume, especially if you're applying for a more technical role. Number 3, management skills. While management skills are typically associated with management position, that's not actually the case. In reality, any type of profession can benefit from strong management skills. Being a good manager involves being able to effectively handle people, resources, and processes, including your time, plans, projects, and so on. So basically, all employers want someone good at that, regardless of whether it's a managing position or not. Number 4, problem-solving skills. No matter what your job is, you'll face problems while doing it. And this is exactly why problem-solving skills are so important. Listing them on your resume will show the hiring manager you will be able to identify, find the root cause, and come up with creative solutions to whatever issue comes your way, especially if you hold a managerial or technical position. Number 5, organizational skills. These skills help you keep track of information, materials, and even your time in such a way that you tackle short and long-term tasks effectively. HR managers are particularly fond of organizational skills because they help employees be more productive and save the company time and money. Number 6, leadership skills. Saying you have leadership skills is basically saying that you're emotionally intelligent, a good communicator, and a natural-born influencer. This means that you'll be able to motivate your coworkers, reach their full potential, and work together towards a common goal. This makes leadership skills one of the best soft skills to add to your resume. And finally, number 7, interpersonal skills. These skills refer to how well you can understand and get along with other people. While they're extremely useful for team-oriented or customer-facing roles, interpersonal skills are actually a great asset to have in any case. Think you're a writer and communicating with others isn't really part of your job description, but you still want to be able to understand and communicate with your audience, collaborate with your publishers, and understand what people are like if you want to do your job really well, right?
Okay, so repeat after me. Je m'appelle.
Pelle.
Great. Okay, faster. Je m'appelle.
Pelle.
Je m'appelle.
Me poupou.
Well, this is just what makes the interpersonal skills so crucial. And that's a wrap. We hope this video gave you all the necessary knowledge to show off your skills and land the job of your dreams. For more career advice, check out our channel and career blog at novoresume.com, where you can find resume templates, examples, and also tips on nailing your next job interview. I've been Andre, thanks for watching, and happy job hunting.
Career advice by Novoresume.
So, now that we got the basics out of the way, let's go over on how you should list the skills in your resume step by step. There should be some good bloopers.